Good morning, everyone. It is 9:03 on the morning of September 2nd, 2022, and this is my pre-market strategy session. And so today I will be using some previous levels to play against, I think we're due for a little bit of a bounce after this is about an 8% move from top to bottom. So, I mean, nothing goes up or down in a straight line as much as we wish it would. It'll be an interesting day to see what happens. So a couple of things that I wanted to point out that I played against yesterday, which was I almost got sucked into a short. I almost went short at the bottom, yesterday's bottom, but I kept my finger off the trigger. So yesterday there's this, I want to call this the previous low. This is the previous close right here. Let me make sure I get zeroed in on that. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit. Here's the close right here. And I mean, that's not a previous low, I mean, because there are kind of other, lows in here. But this is the next most significant low, the next closest low in recent history, and it really did act as support yesterday. And also, actually, the break below the previous day's low there was actually some action there too. I did get into a short right there and made some money. And then for the rest of the day, basically, I just kind of sat and watched charts for the most of the rest of the day. So yeah, kind of go over it. And if you look at it, if you see it on the smaller time frame, you'll see what I mean here. So I'll use the 10-minute here. And so in the morning, in the pre-market, it came up and touched off of that previous close. And then in the pre-market, it went down, right? This is the spot as well. I was like, this isn't exactly. It was the Qs that really did a good job of dropping down. So right here on the Qs, right there, right, on this spike and then the break back down below the open. So. And actually, let me put the previous days, let me put the corresponding lines on here. I played the Qs yesterday. I didn't play the SPY. There, and then the yesterday's close right there. All right. So, and to look at that on the 10-minute. All right. That makes more sense. Yeah, so I almost, right here, it looked like the market was like getting ready to just really, it had confirmed below, and it was looking like it was really getting ready to dump it. In fact, it was on this candle right here, this low candle right here at noon, and or almost 1 o'clock right here, and I almost sold on that candle right there, and it would have been the low of the day if I kept my finger off the trigger. And I have a rule that I don't trade between 12:30 and 1:30. Actually, I only trade between 9:30 and 11 o'clock and 2:30 and 4 o'clock. And I was like, I don't remember exactly. I mean, yeah, I've traded in the lunch hour before. I've traded during the off hours before. But for whatever reason, I stayed out of that fortunately, really quite fortunately. And so what we did, though, is here's the open. I traded against the open. So I traded the break below the open. We go to the 1 minute, and you'll see it confirmed it right here, and then just turned around, went the other direction. 10:20. Let's look at the 10:20 time frame on the 1 minute. I think it becomes a lot more clear. There it is, right there. Boom, right there. I sold right there, or I should say, I bought puts right there, and then I let them ride down 4 points, and then it popped back up, and I sold it as it popped back up right here. So I was in this trade for all of, let's see, 10:28 roughly until 10:52. So I was in this trade for about a half an hour. It was low volume, or I'm sorry, not low volume, but I only traded 2 options contracts, put contracts on the SPY. So it was really small, a really small position. But $4 on 200 shares, or the equivalent of 200 shares. 2 options contracts is equivalent to 200 shares. Not bad. I mean, it was okay. Not quite $4. Not quite. I didn't quite get the whole move, but I got a big piece of this. I got a big piece of this move yesterday, right there. Got a nice big piece of that. All right. So then I was hanging around my desk, and usually I like to get up from my desk and during lunchtime, so I'm not even tempted to trade. But I was hanging around my desk during lunchtime, and it was right there, right there, that I almost pulled the trigger again on 2 more contracts, and just I don't know if it was, who knows, I was like, oh, this thing's getting ready to dump, but I hesitated. I don't know why I hesitated, but I did. Unfortunately, it was the right thing to do. And then I watched it climb, and I was like, oh wow. And then when I saw it do this number right here, and then up again, I was like, oh wow, this thing's going higher for the rest of the day. So, but again, I just I stayed out of the afternoon session. I'm bearish, and so I don't want to get caught. My bias is to the bearish side, and I didn't feel like being counter. I didn't feel like being both long and short and trading the same day. I mean, I've done it before, but I like to either be long or short, and either be congruent with or contrarian to my own bias, which is kind of strange for some people to do. So yeah, it was interesting. Now today, here we are. We're gapping up higher, and let's look at the price resistance for today. Let's look at the levels for today. What's going to happen here? So, okay, let's see where we are in context with just this recent move. So let's see here. I'm going to go from this close to this close. So we bounced right off of. So technically speaking, I put this in the wrong way. Let me fix the direction there. So we've bounced off of the 61.8, or I'm sorry, 38.2. So we bounced off of that yesterday, and here we are. We're going to open up just shy of the 50% mark this morning. So if today we can get a move where the Qs decide to bump up above this 50% mark, retest and move on, I imagine that the 61.8 right here, this 309.81, will be in play, and we will be looking at a pretty big up day. Now, another thing to look at here, let's do this the other way. Let me get rid of that fib. And then let's go to this fib right here. So here's the top. Here's yesterday's close. So 305.81 could act as resistance today. And I'll probably put both, I'll probably put both fibs up today and kind of flash back and forth between the two of them, just to kind of see where we are, see what price is doing at that time of the day, and then move back again between the two fibs. When we get coincidental, like this sort of coincidental price, like This 61.8 is close to this 38.2. It's just coincidental, but the more coincidences you have at a certain price, the more likely it is that you'll get more support or resistance at those areas. The more levels different people are looking at, the more coincidences you have at price levels will give you more support or resistance at those levels. So if you get things kind of converging all at once, you can see a lot of support and resistance. So yeah, today if we get as high as that 30, the bottom of this candle right here, 307.36, I'd expect to see that to be the top. And I'm also imagine, a well-behaved market, even in markets that are as volatile as the ones we're in now, will still close gaps. So there's, here's the top of the gap right here at 299.40. So if this thing opens up and starts selling off, 299.40 is probably the spot if you want to go long to start looking for some support. Average in around that price, and then if it confirms to the downside, you'll know exactly how it looks when it confirms, and you can get out quickly. You can cut your losses quickly if this does not turn out to be a support line. So yeah, that's pretty much the day in a nutshell. That's pretty much all I'm going to be doing today is just kind of watching the cues to see what kind of trade it gives us. What kind of trade we can count on. September is traditionally a very weak month of the year for the stock market. There's really no reason to think otherwise for this month. Anything can happen. I can see there being like a week or so worth of up move in September, just to kind of give way to a whole bunch of weakness toward the back half of September. All right, everybody, good luck out there. Keep your risk tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you on Monday morning's strategy session. Have a great weekend, everyone. I am out.